Right now at noon, we head down to the 107th Annual Crawford County Fair. See what events are going on today.
Our 100-degree temperatures continue with those excessive heat warnings. There's relief later down the road. We'll take a look at your forecast coming up.
Plus, back-to-school shopping is on everyone's list. Find out how you can save this weekend.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good afternoon, and thank you for joining us at KOAM News at Noon. I'm Caitlin O'Shaughnessy. Authorities released the name of the driver who died in a single-vehicle crash in Shoal Creek last week. He's 50-year-old Stephen L. Allen. You might recall he was driving an SUV last Thursday when it went into the creek. The vehicle was completely submerged by the time emergency crews arrived. Allen was found dead inside. We still don't have official word on the cause of death or what led to the crash. And Oklahoma State Bureau of Investigation steps in to assist the Canadian County Sheriff's Office with an alleged sexual assault by a deputy. Authorities say Canadian County Deputy Wesley Wayne Hunter Jr. was transporting a woman from Bryan County to the Canadian County Jail for an outstanding warrant. During the transport, Hunter stopped in a remote location and sexually assaulted the female passenger. Hunter was arrested and booked into the Marshall County Jail on second-degree rape. The state of Missouri was scheduled to execute Johnny Johnson yesterday. Johnson kidnapped 6-year-old Casey Williamson, then brutally murdered her at an abandoned factory in 2002. Courts found that Johnson was competent at the time and is competent now. The execution proceeded as scheduled. His time of death was 6:33 p.m. A group of Oklahoma residents is suing to stop the state from establishing and funding what would be the nation's first religious public charter school. The lawsuit seeks to stop taxpayer funds from going to the St. Isidore of Seville Catholic Virtual School. Earlier this year, Oklahoma's Republican Governor Kevin Stitt signed a bill that would give parents in the state a tax incentive to send their children to private schools, including religious schools. And the Miami Public Schools Police Force is starting its first day of school year as a department. KOAM's Anthony Savello has more.
For Miami Public Schools, one of its most important missions is to keep students safe while they pursue their education.
In the world we live in today, safety is our number one role for kids. Parents send their kids their most precious commodities to us every day, and they expect them to come back in the same shape that they dropped them off in, and that's our job. That's our number one duty, is to protect kids and keep them safe.
Many schools have SROs, or student resource officers. Typically, these officers are part of the local police department. However, what Miami Public Schools has done is created its own department dedicated solely to the school district.
We're going to be partnering with Miami Police Department as well as all the tribal agencies, law enforcement agencies, as well as the county, and even other jurisdictions from where we're located, because we all have one goal in mind, that's safety of our students and our community. So absolutely, we're going to be great partnerships with them.
For Miami Public Schools, this department only seems to aim for the betterment of the school district.
I hope for us to kind of be the cornerstone here in Northeast Oklahoma that people can model after as we progress and grow in this, that they can look to us when they go to start their own and come to us for questions, or to be that model for the other schools that want to start this program.
Having these extra helping hands to provide a safe environment for students can hopefully help parents continue to rest easy. Reporting in Miami, Oklahoma, Anthony Saviello, KOAM News.
The department is prepared to go into the school year with a full staff of 10 officers, including full-time and reserve officers. And now, let's take it over to Chris Warner with a look at the forecast.
Now, we are unfortunately still dealing with that dangerous heat across the area. We have the excessive heat warnings for nearly every county in our area going through the late evening hours tonight. This is because we're expecting heat index values to reach anywhere from 105 to 115 degrees across the area. Yesterday started the day at 79, so well above where we should be, and made it up to 98 officially in Joplin, so 7 degrees above our average, and we're getting closer to those record highs highs that we set over the last several decades across the area. Some of them recently, some of them not. And we're already hot out there across the area. 95 in Joplin, 91 in Pittsburgh, 97 Parsons, 96 in Chanute, 93 Miami, 92 in Neosho. So as you can see, already quite hot across the four-state area, and it's only going to continue to heat up. This dangerous heat will continue at least through the end of this week. And you got those excessive heat warnings, as we mentioned, for most of the area. Some thunderstorm chances are possible. As a matter of fact, we're seeing a few thunderstorms up again, once again, in our northern counties. We'll take a look at the Skywatch Storm Tracker here in a few minutes. We will also talk about when the relief from this heat's going to get here. It's sooner than you think, but it's going to feel miles away once you see when it's actually on its way. We'll have another full look at your forecast again here in a few more minutes. Caitlin?
Thanks, Chris. And if you are hungry for more fairs, then Girard, Kansas is the place for you. The 107th Crawford County Fair has all the livestock, including cattle, sheep, and goats, as well as many different attractions for the whole family. Today's events include Barnyard Olympics, mutton busting, live music, and a rodeo. We get
Expect to have the noisy pigs on the first day, and when you wake up, if you camp, there's always going to be cows mooing.
The fair continues through Sunday, August 6th. A city sales tax will continue to fund Parsons, Kansas emergency responders for at least another decade. The numbers are in, and Parsons voters overwhelmingly say yes to a proposal that will extend the city's half-cent public safety sales tax for another 10 years. 544 voted yes, and only 94 voted no. The tax supports funding competitive pay to retain experienced police officers and firefighters and to pay for training. It will also help to buy vehicles and other critical equipment. That was only area election yesterday, but several Missouri communities will head to the polls 6 days from today. Most of them are tax levy proposals. Some will be general sales taxes. Others will be taxes on marijuana sales. For a full list of the elections next week, go to our website, KOAMnewsnow.com. And that's a look at today's top stories in the 4 states. Up next on KOAM News at Noon, how one local business is helping residents beat the heat this summer. And later, we're making Asian lettuce wraps in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen. Stay tuned. Joplin schools in the city of Joplin partnered together to install a crosswalk on 20th Street adjacent to Joplin High School. School officials say students crossing 20th Street have been a safety concern for some time. After months of discussions, the city of Joplin and the school district agreed to install a lighted crosswalk with a safety island between 2 lanes. The city and school district agreed to split the installment cost, which is approximately $38,000.
What they'll be able to do is hit the warning signal light. It will flash, stop traffic. They'll be able to cross to what is the center turn lane to a safety island where they can hit the crosswalk crossing again that will get them across the next 2 lanes of traffic and safely across 20th Street.
Petit hopes the crosswalk will be installed before the first day of school. And because of the recent intense heat, air conditioning repair services are in high demand. A local company says this summer they've received 40% more calls about malfunctioning AC units. To avoid problems, specialists recommend changing the filter and washing the condenser coil regularly, as these are some of the most common problems found.
Because we have to have a comfortable place for a lot of people. So I've been in a few restaurants that it's been out like that, and you go, it's pretty musty, but we try to keep it fresh in here and we get it right on it. Landlord's done a great job, so that's the way we're dealing with that.
You can do things like shading your windows, limiting the number of times you open the door to the outside, replacing your windows, having more efficient windows, or having a general contractor come in and tighten up your house. All of those things are good.
Cities and counties in Missouri can no longer opt out of the state's back-to-school sales tax holiday weekend. The Missouri State Treasurer Vivek Malik visited Missouri Southern to remind families about the 3-day sales tax holiday weekend. During this holiday, all state sales taxes will be waived for qualifying back-to-school supplies. In the past, cities and counties were able to still collect local taxes, but now Malik says that's no longer the case.
Because I think education is very dear to me. That is something which brought me out of trenches. And I think for anybody to succeed or make a mark in their life, education is the key. And if you want your next generation to succeed, it is important that we do that saving today so that they can have the same opportunities that we had.
The tax-free holiday runs from Friday, August 4th through Sunday the 6th. To learn more about the tax-free holidays in your area, head over to koamnewsnow.com/education. And a new study says Missouri is among the best states for retirees to live. The study, conducted by Bankrate, lists Missouri as the 4th best place to retire. Kansas also fared well at 11th place. Arkansas ranks 23rd, and Oklahoma came in 29th. The study considered such factors as housing costs, taxes, and healthcare quality. So who topped the list? Well, Iowa. Still to come on KOAM News at Noon, we see what's cooking with Mr. Food.
A restaurant favorite that you can make at home. Join us and I'll show you the step-by-step way to making it. And there is no tip.
Dangerous heat continues, at least for right now, but as mentioned, relief is on the way. We'll take a look at that full forecast when we come back. Welcome back to the KOAM News at Noon. So it's already heating up significantly outside. A lot of us into the mid, even upper 90s, pushing those heat index values to dangerous levels. And that's why we have those excessive heat warnings across the area. However, Mother Nature throwing a little party of her own. She keeps throwing some showers and thunderstorms right at our northern counties. We saw almost the same pattern of storms early this morning, traipse right across our northern counties. And here we are going into the afternoon, and here comes another round of these same showers and thunderstorms. So you can see where that batch over by Rolla was some of the spotty storms we had this morning. It moved out and it's dying out. Then we had a batch of storms develop here, and then it began to die out and set off a new batch of storms pushing off to the east across some of our northern counties. So again, not everybody's going to get rain this afternoon. It's going to be relatively limited at this point, but at least some of us out there are getting some much needed rain. MoDOT camera 20th and range line. It is sunny. It is hazy, it is hot, it is humid, it is all of those nasty things out there, except for the sunny. I mean, the sun's not necessarily all that bad, but we need more rain out there. Our camera right here at the KOAM studios, just north of Crestline, showing it also a little bit on the hazy side. It's not necessarily cloudy, it's just the haze from the humidity out there. We have excessive heat warnings once again for virtually every county in our area for those heat index values upwards of 110 to 115 degrees. We're going to talk about that in a moment. And we're already on our way. We're at 95 in Joplin, partly cloudy skies. It feels like 103 out there with our dew point at 72, so that is in that soupy range for sure. We head over to Pittsburgh. We had a little more sunshine. We are sitting at 91, feels like 99 right now with a dew point of 73, and temperatures around the region don't look any better. We've got 89 Fort Scott, 88 Nevada. It's a little cooler. 92 Iola, you go Yates Center, 95, 97 Neodesha Parsons, 93 in Miami, and 92 in Neosho, and you factor in that dew point, and it feels like 105 in Yates Center, 103 Neodesha Parsons, Chautauqua, feels like 102 in Commerce, 103 in Webb City, feels like 106 in Nevada and Stockton. So even though they're a little cooler because of the rain, it's much more humid, it's much more muggy, and it's causing those heat index values to be way up there. So we're getting into that 105 to 115 range again for those heat indexes. So heat exhaustion is likely and heat stroke remains possible. So just a reminder on these safety tips until we get through this. You need to stay hydrated, take frequent breaks, limit those outdoor activities, wear lightweight, light-colored clothes, and make sure you're checking on the elderly and don't leave your pets outside too long. Still on track as probably figured, highs into the lower 100s. The majority of us partly cloudy to mostly clear, but again, some of our northern counties getting in on another round of some rain up there. We head through the evening, again, mostly clear, partly cloudy, hot. Overnight lows back into the lower 80s for the most part, so no relief there. Holding on to triple digits through at least Friday. We have some thunderstorms coming in late Thursday evening and then maybe a few on Friday morning. Then Saturday, we're looking at thunderstorm chances again. We are watching the possibility at this point for maybe a couple of strong, maybe severe thunderstorms Saturday. However, once we get through that, we hold on to some thunderstorm chances, but look down the road. Yeah, that's 86. 86 on Monday. Our temperatures begin to fall back a bit to a much more manageable level, back into the upper 80s and lower 90s. We'll hang on to that as we head into the next work week with some additional thunderstorm chances by next Thursday and Friday. But for right now, we've just got to get through the next few days. And as I said, it's going to feel like it's forever until we get to Sunday, but we will get there and we'll finally get that relief.
All right. Well, coming up, we're making Asian lettuce wraps in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen after the break. It's time to check in with Howard and the Mr. Food kitchen staff. Today, he's making a low-carb, high-protein way to enjoy a homemade taste of Asia. It's called Asian lettuce wraps. Take a look.
How many times have you been to a restaurant and had a dish that was so good that you said to yourself, I wish I could figure out how to make this at home? Well, if you've ever said that about Asian-style lettuce wraps, which are super popular right now, you're in luck. That's right. We've created a copycat version that I know you're going to love. We start by sauteing some ground beef with chopped onion and a bit of salt and pepper. After it's browned, we add some hoisin sauce, soy sauce, sesame oil, chopped pickled ginger, and minced garlic. We let this simmer for a bit so all the flavors come together. And as for where you can find the Asian-inspired ingredients, just check out the ethnic section at your market. Now all that's left to do is spoon this onto a leaf of Bibb or leaf lettuce, top it with some grated carrot and shredded cucumber, along with your favorite Asian dipping sauce, and you're done. These taste super fresh, and they're right on trend with all those low-carb, high-protein diets. To get the recipe for our Asian lettuce wraps, all you need to do is head over to our website. I'm Howard with Kelly in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen, where today we found a restaurant copycat way for you to say, ooh, it's so good. Isn't that
To find this recipe, along with many others, just head over to our website at KOAMnewsnow.com and click on Mr. Food. Now here's a look at 4 states' market prices.
All right, excessive heat warnings again today. Heat index values 105 to 115. Triple digits continue through Friday. Some storms Thursday into Friday. More storms this weekend into the start of next week. And then that sets the stage for temperatures to drop back into the upper 80s and lower 90s as we head into the next work week as well. Just a few more days.
Well, very good. We know what's coming up at 5?
I do.
I'll tell you, former President Trump is scheduled to appear in Washington, D.C. court Thursday to face the latest criminal charges against him. Plus, after the city of Caney's pool closed due to water conservation, the city announces more restrictions for water use. And the Community Health Clinic of Southeast Kansas hosts a series of free vaccines. All that at 5.
Sounds good. Well, make sure that you check those out at 5, and thank you for joining us here at KOAM News at Noon.